Hi, this is Mary Neal. I'm at Screencastify. Here's my Google Plus page. I posted information about this woman uh, who's the wife of Derek Sills. He's a Cochran Firm fraud partner. Her husband's firm specializes in frauds against victimized Black families, especially in police abuse cases, by throwing the fight for just settlements and jury awards after brutality and wrongful deaths. The firm misuses Jenny Cochran's name to defraud African American legal consumers. If New York seeks to give the semblance of caring about justice for blacks without actually delivering same, then Mayor de Blasio made a good choice. And so I invite people to visit the Cochran Firm Fraud online at http://cochranfirmfraud.blogspot.com. Congratulations, New York Police Department. With this woman at the helm, she's anything like her husband's law firm. People who are complaining about police abuse and abuse of force incidents will be um, cut off even before they get started in the process. And she's selected for the Civilian Review Board regarding police uh, activity. And so a friend of mine, Anita Wills, said, wow, from what I read from the Post on article, she's more than qualified. Great pick from Mayor de Blasio. The Post is going after who she married and everything she has done to ensure that civilians are not targeted by police. Enough said. Well, there's quite enough said, Anita Wills, because I wrote her back and said, I've known you for this long without your learning about the Cochran Firm fraud. If this is an honest woman who fights police brutality, she is very unequally yoked, married to a Cochran Firm fraud attorney. My goodness. The Cochran Firm regularly defrauds Black people regularly and cheats them of settlements that they should have, cheats them of the jury awards they should have. And that's why they are misusing Jenny Cochran's name. Now, if you look right here, you'll see I wrote that. And when it comes to posting it, it won't post. Okay, the Cochran Firm or somebody has assigned hackers particularly to my computer, to keep me from being able to tell you about them and the many, mostly African American people that they have defrauded over the years. And I'm trying to post that comment to let Anita Wills know about my objections to this woman and why. And it appears that they don't want that to post. So I'm so sick of them. They don't want anybody to know about the Cochran Firm frauds. They may be out of court now. They were in Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals trying to keep the right to call themselves a national law firm. They're only a national law firm when it comes to getting cases, when it comes to getting sued for racism, frauds, sex discrimination, and legal malpractice. They claim not being a single law firm. They claim each office is separate. So that's the game that is played on American people, particularly people of color. So I'm trying to get here where this lady made this comment and where these hackers don't want me to put my answer for whatever reason. I mean, you can look up Cochran Firm fraud pretty much just in a search engine, and you'll see the cases, some of the cases that they've been sued. Their lawsuits are not published by mainstream news because they're carrying out the COINTELPRO mandate to keep wealth out of black hands. And of course, mainstream news is all for that, and they don't want you to know what they're doing. So I'm going to see if they'll let it post. I doubt if they will. They generally contest not posting information about the Cochran Firm frauds, which are plentiful in the United States of America, where black people are very discriminated against. As you can see, this post comment is light green. That means it's inactive. They won't let this comment post. It's supposed to be my page. Okay. Oh, they let it get dark. I'm clicking. I'm surprised. Okay, they let it post. I want you to know that some other things are happening since we came here to this page. This is my Google Plus page. I invite you to go and read the page. I won't be posting as much here over the next few weeks. I have other things I'm working on, but the UN is expanding its power under the Obama administration. And of course, President Obama wants the UN to be as powerful as possible because he hopes to be Secretary General of it. In other words, he wants to move from being President of the United States to President of the world. And so one thing that he wants is a global police force to fight what? Extremism in the U.S. So that's where he wants to fight in the USA. Extremism could include people who ask about the secret arrest and murder of their relatives. It could include those. I have certainly been fought during his whole administration when it comes to publicizing the plights of people who have mental health disabilities and the plights of prisoners whose human rights are generally violated in the USA, even to the point that one man in North Carolina was recently beheaded. They said he escaped and was beheaded after he pulled a shank, which is a homemade knife, on a corrections officer. Now, you and I know that if somebody did pull a shank on a corrections officer, they probably went into maximum security in the hole after that. So this man supposedly escaped from what might have been maximum security in solitary confinement cell, and he wound up 2 weeks later being found after he supposedly escaped, and his head was cut off. Now, this post here is about Margaret Sanger and Mrs. Clinton. It says Margaret Sanger shaped the eugenics movement in America and beyond in the 1930s and 40s. Her views and those of her peers in the movement contributed to the compulsory sterilization laws in 30 U.S. states that resulted in more than 60,000 sterilizations of vulnerable people, including people she considered feeble-minded, idiots, and morons. Most of the victims were black. Some of them were poor whites. If you were black or poor, then you were considered to be useless life. And Hillary Clinton said she so much admired Margaret Sanger. She said, I admire Margaret Sanger enormously. I am really in awe of her. So thank you very much for joining me, Mary Neal, here at Google Plus. That's MaryLovesJustice at Google Plus. God bless you. Have a nice